Embrace yourself in this moment and give yourself some appreciation. You accepted a call to be here today. Something within you or a friend grabbed you to come, and you said yes to it. So it's changing the trajectory of your life, even now, being in the aura of this field of love and beauty and intelligence. The wonderful people that behind the scenes, the practitioners, you're in a field of love and the beauty and intelligence right now. We're not merely in this room, but this room is in our consciousness, and our consciousness, our awareness is expanding moment by moment by moment. Everything is orchestrated from the reading, the meditative thought, to the selected readings and the prayers, the music, the silent practitioners holding a vigil. Everything is orchestrated for you to become more you. As you're wrapping your arms around yourself saying, I'm willing to become more of who I really am. Now say it with gusto. I'm willing to become more of who I really am. Third time, I'm willing to become more of who I really am. Give yourself some love. So you've just spoken into existence an intention to grow, develop, and unfold to the next step of glorifying the power and the presence and the love of God. Those words that flowed out of your mouth were an intention. As we've been discussing this month, that we're becoming aware that we can speak into existence the life we want to live. We can speak into existence the world we want to live in. And so we've learned this month to govern what comes out of our mouth, because as Yeshua ben Joseph reminded us, it's not just what goes into the mouth that defiles, it's also what comes out of the mouth. So you've just spoken into existence your willingness to grow, develop, and unfold, and to expand your awareness in this field of infinite consciousness. You have learned this month that there's a power in the tongue. Life and death are in the tongue, so you've become aware this month that your tongue is to be used as a magic wand, so that every time you speak, you're becoming aware that you are bringing something into existence, that there's some energy that you're being released over and under the tongue. Over the tongue are the words, under the tongue is the meaning. You're becoming aware this month that there are two conspiracies that happen on this planet. There's the conspiracy for mediocrity that hijacks the uninitiated into gross materialism, the fame game, comparison with other people. And then there's the divine conspiracy, a universal conspiracy of which the entire universe is conspiring on your behalf, that the power and the presence and the love of God may become more conscious of itself as your very life. There is a conspiracy on your behalf that is happening. What does that mean? This grand presence that we call God, we call love, beauty, intelligence, the quantum field of pure consciousness is always conscious, but it wants to be conscious of itself as your life. This is why you're not insignificant. This is why you're not an accident, regardless of what your parents may have said. This is why you're not accidental. You are on purpose with the purpose to reflect and to reveal the presence of God according to your uniqueness as an incomparable being. All of this is true about you, and it speaks to speaking our life and the world we want to live into existence. So today, we're inviting ourselves to become aware that joy, the power of joy, has a bonus to it. Now, joy is not just a fleeting happiness that's attached to a condition. Joy is intrinsic to us. Now, before we break that down to a degree, as we are here, what flowed through me this morning in the way of meditation service, we are here to be mature spiritual beings. What does that mean? In the human incarnation, you are not a mature being until you've been initiated into an intention to wake up spiritually. Up until that time, you may be a good person, but God's no respecter of persons. You may be a good person. You may have received a modicum of success in your life, in the different structures of life. whether it be money, whether it be physical health, or whatever the case may be. But until something within you, an urge, an instinct that becomes intuition, until there's something within you that really wants to grow spiritually, that wants to know God, that wants to know your real self, that wants to activate your potential, up until that moment, you are immature. You're not evil. You're just immature. You haven't matured yet. And I think it's interesting to note that in the indigenous cultures, you're not even an adult until you're 50 years young. You're an infant, then you're a child, you're a teenager, you're adulting, you adult until you're 50. And supposedly, at that time, you become an adult, and then you're an elder after 80. Some people try to be elders when they're 70s. Nah. Not according to the indigenous cultures. You become an elder after 80. That's in context to what I'm saying, that you are maturing when you begin to activate your spiritual power and desire to grow. So when we see the conspiracy of mediocrity in the world that highlights all these people who have achieved great things in sports and finance, etc., there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't mean they're mature beings. It just means they've just achieved in certain dimensions of life. And then people who are uninitiated fall prey to thinking that's it. What's it is you becoming more you. That's what you just took a vow to. You said, I want to become more me. Does that include prosperity? Yes, it does. Does that include good health? Yes, it does. Does that include loving relationship? Yes, it does. However, your joy happens when you start to mature. When you start to mature spiritually, you cultivate the power of joy that's independent of conditions, independent of circumstances, independent of situations. It is not a fleeting feeling. It is an awareness of the joy that's breaking free everywhere within this universe, within this cosmos, the spirit of the living one, the spirit of God, out of a deep sense of fulfillment and overflow, birthed the cosmos, the multidimensional universes and solar systems and galaxies and nature and all living biology out of joy and ecstasy. And as we begin to pray and meditate, as we begin to study and serve, as we begin to do what we can to augment our awareness to see that which is real, we begin to cultivate this power of joy that has very little to do with the circumstance. It's not fleeting. It doesn't come and go when situations change and circumstances change and people change. It doesn't come and go. It becomes permanently and indelibly etched in our soul. Our subconscious begins to be filled to overflowing with the same flow that the presence of God had before the beginning of time. And you begin to be mature, and then the bonus is that the conspiracy of this universal presence then matches your inner joy, and then conditions change in your life. There becomes a vibrational match based on the cultivation of joy, independent of circumstance. Did you follow that? Yes. Now, every urge, in Ageless Wisdom, we teach that every urge within us that does not have a universal outlet is incomplete. Nothing wrong with the urges within us. But if that doesn't have a universal outlet, it's incomplete. It's okay to have an urge to be prosperous, but it completes itself in generosity. It's okay to have an urge to be with somebody, to have sex with somebody, but that urge completes itself with intimacy and love. It's nothing wrong with being healthy, but that urge completes itself with the ability to share our gifts, talents, and expand our capacity to activate these talents and contribute to the world. That urge for creativity completes itself with the expression of beauty. So every urge within us is all right, but it completes it has to have a universal outlet for it to be completed. So when we look upon the world and we see these immature beings that have all these urges, They don't have a universal outlet. It becomes greed. It becomes power over people. It becomes manipulation. It becomes all the stuff we see in the world of appearances because they haven't let that urge complete itself in something beyond their little self, you see. And so we are breaking free from the conspiracy of mediocrity. And so when you hear age-old statements like, God, the power and the presence of God, seek ye first the kingdom of God and everything else will be added. That's been said for so many years. I'm just trying to break it down for you. When you open yourself up and you become, oh my God, there's nothing more important to me than my connection with the infinite. There's nothing more important to me than for me to wake up. There's nothing more important to me than my connection with the Spirit of the living one, called by millions of names. We're not talking being religious. We're talking about waking up to our spiritual nature. And then you begin to understand that the fear that overtakes us sometimes is runaway thoughts. Thoughts that have run away within us, and they're running into the future and having all kinds of scenarios about what could happen and what shouldn't happen and it hasn't even happened yet, but the body is living in the fear or it's running away into the past. We begin to navigate ourselves into some kind of spiritual practice where we don't have runaway thoughts, or we catch them when they try to run away. Well, come back here. Ooh, you're not going out there and speaking that into existence. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no. Oh, no. The runaway thoughts, you learn how to pull them in and take a deep breath. And say, oh, my God, I'm grateful right this moment that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm awake. I'm grateful that I can take this breath. This instant, my need is met. My need is met right now. This breath is what I need. You take those runaway thoughts that become fear. And you begin to mature into fundamentally what you want is to wake up. Remember this, and it came for me early this morning, that the world that we see with the sensorium, the senses, is an artifact of previously held points of view, positionalities, perceptions, opinions. That's what we see. It's an artifact of thoughts that have been held by an individual or by groups of people. They all believe it. It's an artifact. It's the past, you see. But we are here to catch the phrase, Reverend Joanne, behold, I make all things new. In other words, moment by moment by moment by moment by moment, as we practice, we're not to try to go out and get our happiness from the artifact of previously held points of view, the past, even though we're seeing with our sensorium, it's just a condensed thought forms. Moment by moment by moment, we're to stay awake. This moment is new. I speak into existence. This is going to be a great day. This is new. I speak into existence that beauty is taking over my life. I'm speaking into existence right now that harmonizing prosperity is the order of my day in this instant. I am making everything new. I am not going to get used to the pebble in my shoe. I'm not going to get used to. So every day we say in substance all the stuff we've gotten used to. We're not trying to change anybody else or change out there. I'm not letting it get used to in my awareness right here. In other words, this joy, it's not connected. You got to get this. It's not connected to a future condition. I can get this joy right now. You know what I'm getting used to? I'm getting used to joy right now. I'm getting used to happiness, right? I'm getting used to peace right now. I'm getting used to love right now. I'm getting used to beauty and harmonizing prosperity. I'm getting used to it right now. And the bonus round kicks in. What? You're getting used to joy? Let me give you something to be joyful for. Let me bring about that manifestation. It's a bonus. Joy is not what you think. It's not how we've been hijacked by the world. Every commercial you see on television is going to tell you you're going to be happy if you get something that's probably not good for you. If it's a food stuff on television, it's probably not good for you. You better go to some alternative grocery stores and get some real food. Okay. But the point being, we're taking our mind back. We're taking our mind back. So that when you hear, we're speaking the life we want to live into existence. There's a power in the tongue. Life and death are in the tongue. My tongue and what comes over and what comes under it is a magic wand conjuring vibrational frequencies that will ultimately take shape. As a mature spiritual being, the moment something within you, it starts to wake up, and you really want to know the presence, you really want to know God, love, peace, joy, wisdom, that becomes your top priority. Now you're maturing. And then what comes after that is that you begin to have a level of joy that has nothing to do with what's going on in your life right now. It's independent of that. And as you continue to cultivate that, the bonus is that the conditions in your world start to change to ultimately reflect the inner joy that you have. And then all the urges within you are all right if they have a universal outlet. They're not negative, they're not evil. It must have a universal outlet. It must be bigger than yourself. You don't want to stack up Benjamins. I remember that was really hip in the rap thing. I'm stacking up Benjamins, man. You know what I mean? Shut up. No, prosperity is to be generative and to be generous and help build the world you want to live in. Your physical health is not to preen and to be vain. It is to be mobile enough and strong enough to deliver your gifts, you see. The love, intimacy, and that gives way to love. It's an expression of love and care and peace, you see. You think about the urge, and then you think about the universal outlet. Now, what are you doing? You're coming to an understanding that the entire universe is up to producing an individual that can perfectly reflect the entire cosmos. You are here to perfectly reflect the cosmos, to create like the cosmos, out of nothing but an idea of fulfillment and ecstasy, birthing a new life over and over and over and over and over again, not being attached to the outcome, but being so in tune with this moment of taking back your awareness and expanding it so that joy and love and peace and harmony become more real to you than the very chairs you're sitting in. And now you are mature enough to walk in the world, to walk in the artifact of the past, to walk in it, but to be of a higher frequency. So you are spending most of your time building something up rather than tearing something down. Your whole energy is not about tearing something down. Your energy is about what is being built by the word that you speak, by the vision that you're holding, by the life that you're living. Oh, mature people, stand up. Oh, I'm talking about physically stand. Take a stand. You are mature. You are maturing right now. Maturing does not mean getting old. It means getting bold with the light. You see? You're not getting old. You're being bold with your love of loving, your love of Godding, your love of joying, your love of peacing. You're outing yourself as a lover of the presence of God. You're not hiding that. You're out the closet. Oh, I love God so much. I love life so much. I love beauty so much. I just love to love. Oh, repeat after me. I love to love. I love to shine my light. I am becoming a mature human being. I am waking up to my cosmic destiny. I have a good destiny. All of my needs are met. And I am creating from the overflow. I am loving from the overflow. I am giving from the overflow. I am living from the overflow. I create the way God creates. Because I know what the universe is up to. To produce an individual that reflects the cosmos. That would be me. Look at somebody and say, that would be you. Look at somebody else and say, that would be you. Look at a whole bunch of people and say, that would be us. This is us. This is us. This is us. Somebody scream about it. You may now be seated, but I wanted you to take a stand for the vibration and frequency. Because when you walk out of this room, you're going to be bombarded with news, which is really the olds. You're going to be bombarded with opinion and points of view and perspectives and positionalities. But there is something that is untouched. The power and the presence and the love of God, the world that God lives in. This world, it is so real. Ooh. And when you breathe and you pray, something opens up. Your spiritual astigmatism is healed. And you begin to see, oh my God, there's so many opportunities to share, to be of service. There's so many opportunities to be kind. There's so many opportunities to put my best foot forward. There's so many opportunities. I'm going to take them. And I'm going to allow the great God of the universe, called by millions of names, you can call it life with a capital L if you desire. You can call it love. You can call it beauty. You can call it intelligence. I'm going to allow the God presence to so have its way with me that, like Jesus, at some point we'll be able to say, when you see me, you see the presence of God that sent me. You are sent as a divine fiat of the Spirit, more than son and daughter of your parents. You have divine heritage. Breaks you free from all of the thought forms and hereditary patterns that you caught in the environment that you grew up in. So you're no longer living, moving, and having your beingness in the world. You're living and moving and having your beingness in God. Healing. Healings. Healings. Revelations of wholeness. Revelations of beauty. Oh, you're more than you think you are. Joy bonus, more than you think it is. Has nothing to do with circumstance. Has everything to do with this inner fire of light and love and beauty. Just practice it. Just practice. Just during the course of your day, just stop. You have to-do lists. You have assignments. You have things you got to get accomplished, and you're doing it. You're doing it. Sometimes just stop. I have a joy beyond circumstance. I have a joy beyond conditions. I'm feeling into that joy now. Just stop several times of the day, and then you will be escorted into the bonus round. More good starts to flow. You do manifest, but you're not manifesting from grabbing and getting and chasing, manipulating. You're manifesting because the inner you that you're in contact with is radiating. And then what you're radiating is becoming visible. You are allowing it, letting it, saying yes to it. All needs met. Overflow. Woo! God is, wow. Come with me right now. Close the outer eyes, tap in the space between the eyebrows, just tap right there. Say out loud with me, I'm willing to see without my eyes. I have good spiritual insight. Now open yourself up, put your hands up like this. Say with me right now, I am so grateful I am so thankful. I'm so appreciative of my life right now. So in this moment, you can put your hands wherever you want them now. Just keep them to yourself, however. Whatever urge is there, it has to fulfill itself in a universal outlet. Sometimes this boy's crazy. Anyway, as we turn within in this moment, we have a deep reverence for life. We love life. We have a deep reverence for life. We're so grateful and we're so thankful that our perceptual windows are being wiped clean now. No longer seeing through a glass darkly. We were blind, but now we see. We were blinded by runaway thoughts. Blinded by the hijacking of our mind from an immature news cycle. Blinded by the conspiracy of mediocrity. Now we see the power and the presence and the love of God is everywhere. It's omnipresent. Say that, omnipresent. Say it again. Say it again. God is omnipresent everywhere. Omnipotent, only power, omniscient, all-knowing, omniactive, the impulse of unfoldment and evolution. And guess what? All of that is in us. We're the image and likeness. So in this consciousness of gratitude and thanksgiving and dynamic appreciation, the recognition of the presence of God becomes more pristine, more available. It may start off as little pinpricks of insight, seeing things a little different. But it builds up into a dynamic recognition that God is everywhere. I see it. I see it in the blade of grass pushing through the cement. I see it. I see it when an individual cuts their hand and the body heals itself. That's life right there. We begin to see it. And then we begin to feel it. Oh, when we feel it, oh my God, that's oneness. We're one with it. I feel it. We're one with it. This is more than emotionality. This is a deep feeling tone of the presence of love and beauty and intelligence that's in us, that's through us, that's for us, and that ultimately is our very life and being. It is from this awareness of sacred oneness that I have the privilege and the honor to speak the word. My tongue is an instrument. The vibration of these words that's coming through right now is they're instruments right now of upliftment, inspiration, healing, transformation, awakening. Awake thou that sleepeth, that the Christ presence within you may give you more life. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! It's our time. This is our time. Don't be fooled by circumstances. Something wonderful is emerging. And so I speak this word for us right now. Oh, are you willing to be whole? I mean, really, are you willing to be whole? You're going to have to shift your point of view about yourself. You're going to have to change up how you think about yourself and how you think about others, because they're just you reflecting you back to you. Are you willing to be whole? Into this dynamic willingness I speak. Let there be wholeness, let there be well-being, let there be wellness, let there be harmonizing prosperity, let there be health, let there be intelligence flowing through these beings, let there be beauty radiating through their heart, Oh, let God be God as their life and being right here and right now. And this word is serving as a law of elimination, dissolution, disintegration, dissolving anything that would heretofore hinder, delay, obstruct, or deny the fullness of life from flowing through these beings right here and right now. It's nothing, it has no power here. It's cast out. It's gone. We're free today. We're free. In the name and the nature of the Christ presence within us. In the name and the nature of the God power. We stand in our freedom. Woo, nothing can touch us except for that which vibrates at the frequency of love and peace and harmony and abundance and joy. Joy, joy, joy. Bonus, woo. I'm gonna give you something to be joyful for. Ooh. Let them feel that, Brenda.
Blessed assurance, Spirit is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. I'm an heir of salvation. I belong to God. I'm born of its Spirit. I'm washed in its love. This is my story. This is my song, praising the Spirit all the day long. This is my story. This is my song. I'll keep praising the Spirit all the day long.
With your eyes continue to be closed, there's light in that darkness. The 139th Psalm reminds us that light and the dark are both alike to thee, and the darkness shines as the day. Infinite potential in the ooze, dark womb of creativity and creation. If you're going through some darkness right now, there's a big blessing trying to happen. You have to lean on your awareness of the presence of God and joy and thanksgiving. In the midst of that, it will birth something beyond what you can even imagine. I'm going to mention some names here, and all I want you to do inside of yourself and know that when you hear these names, they're already healed. Wholeness is the order of the day.